Hi, I'm Leigh-Chantelle, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 6 apps that are really important to have when you travel to Indonesia. I've been here for over a month. I went to Canggu first, then to Batu and Malang in Java, and now I am in Ubud. So I'm going to tell you my top 6 apps to use. Here we go. Number 1, which is not just important for Indonesia, but for everywhere you are, is to have a VPN. And a VPN is a virtual private network, which means that you can change your IP address to anywhere in the world. And this is really important when you're traveling because some websites, like say Agoda, have some geo-blocking, where if you are using it from, say I'm from Australia, if I'm using it from Australia or an Australian IP address, then it gives me higher prices than if I was using it on an Indonesian address. And you can also access some websites that Indonesian government blocks. So that's my number 1. And the VPN that I would suggest that I use and have used for a long time is ExpressVPN. And you can have a look at my link. And this link, if you follow it, that will give both of us 30 days free. And number 2 is Google Translate. And this is very important if you don't speak Bahasa like me, or if someone you are speaking to does not speak the language that you speak. For example, if people in Indonesia who generally speak Bahasa or Javanese or Balinese do not speak English like me. So I never sign into Google, but you can just use the URL, as in the website, on your phone when you are traveling. And it's really cool, actually. I'm going to give you an example of Google Translate. So you just type in Indonesian and English, and I'm going to swap it so that it goes English to Indonesian. And I'm going to say in here, give access to microphone. Can you please wait for 5 minutes, and then I would like to go back home. And then people can read it, or you can play it so people can hear it.
Bisakah kamu menunggu selama 5 menit dan kemudian aku ingin pulang ke rumah?
And this is important, not only that, because keep in mind not everyone can read, and so the audio aspect is really cool. Just make sure that it's correct before you show it to someone as well, because some of the things are a bit awkward. And yeah, that's how I have been able to communicate with drivers, with people, with friends, my new friends, and it's just really, I don't know, it blows my mind a bit, actually. I complain sometimes about how when I first was traveling, you know, I just had a physical map and just a basic phone, and you're able to get around more and you explored more, and you weren't as tethered to your devices. But Google Translate has been really amazing for me. The next app or service that was really helpful to me was the Wise Money app. So this is linked to my Wise travel card, which I would suggest. There's also Revolut, which was another option. They were my 2 options when I chose a card this time I've been traveling. And they're really cool. I actually really like Wise because my phone number from Australia was linked to the account, so you need that sometimes to be able to get the 2-factor authentication and being able to authorize some payments. And so the app is really good because I can just take a photo of myself with my passport to update my phone. So when I came to Indonesia, I did that. It took 5 minutes. So I was really happy with that. Whereas say my Australian banks, they don't do that. I also would suggest not to have one card. So I had Wise card and I had 2 other cards, and one was a credit card and one was a savings account. And some places I can't access my Australian bank card to take money out. So you always just have backups. and you'll be able to, if one card doesn't work, hopefully the other card does. And also don't freak out if one ATM doesn't work, because there'll be other ones. Number 4 is Telkomsel, and the app is My Telkomsel. And I have always used Telkomsel as a carrier for phone calls and the internet, and this time I did that as well. So what I normally do when I arrive in Denpasar is I just get my driver to take me to one of just the people along the side that can sell me a SIM card. So I get the SIM card and I get a heap of data, and I also like to text, so I want to get the credit to give me text so I can text people as well. But yeah, if you don't need to text people, and if you're just relying on an internet app to send text messages and to call people, then you just need the data one. But yeah, it's really good, and you can just stop by most places and add it, or I just get a friend to put 10,000 rupiah onto my account when I'm trying. Number 5 is Gojek. This is what I used, and a lot of people use Grab as well. I did a video on TikTok when I found out how much or how little Gojek drivers were getting. So Gojek is taking 66% of the total of what you're spending on a driver. So this was quite a shock to me. I'm anti-Uber, but over here I was using Gojek. So it was a bit of a, I had to do a bit of reflecting on it. My get around with the ethical aspects regarding Gojek and also Grab was that I would give the driver a tip. And I would either do this with cash, if I had cash on me, or I would do it online after. And I know that online, if you give a driver a tip, that they get 100% of the tip. Also, one of my drivers recently asked me to cancel the booking when I had arrived, and then I would pay him the cash. So there's a few ways around that. So yes, I definitely agree that Gojek is really helpful here. And it's easy to get on, but also, because it's so easy, you're not walking around as much and exploring things and seeing things that maybe I used to. I really loved doing that. It was a bit hard this time because of the rainy season, but yeah, definitely think about those sort of things before you use them. I also heard that Gojek, when you put in an order to get someone to pick you up, it just goes to anyone automatically on the app. So people who are further away from you have been allocated your ride when they're not even close to you. That's why you get so many cancellations, or so many people that don't seem like they're moving and they want you to cancel it. So Grab is meant to be better with that, because they automatically give you the place, that the person who's closest to you. I haven't used Grab, I'm not sure, but yeah, let me know if you have and what you have experienced. And I'd also just like to mention GoPay, which is, you can link to both of these, and you can link if you need to pay any other bills in Indonesia. So it's just an app. This is, it's a negative because it's just one company that's trying to control everything that you do, as in where you pay everything, the things you use, the things you buy, etc., which from a humane technology perspective is not ideal, but it is very useful. So I have GoPay, but I didn't really use it too much. I just used it as a backup in case I needed to. So I have my Wise account linked to my Gojek, and I also had GoPay as well. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think about it too. A lot of people, I am not into delivery drivers delivering things for me when it's raining or something like that. I really do not want to rely on black and brown people being servitude to me. So I try not to. I've never got anything ordered through those sort of apps. I can just walk or get a Gojek and get takeaway. But I noticed a lot of people are ordering like Uber Eats over here. And number 6 is my favorite, which is Signal. And Signal is an alternative to messaging via WhatsApp. It's an alternative to messaging via Facebook Messenger. It's an alternative to Telegram and all the other ones. The great thing about Signal is that it is an open sourced, decentralized platform that relies on funding from people and from subscribers to be able to work. I love Signal because it's not Meta. It's not owned by Meta or Mark Zuckerberg, which is Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, and many others. So over here in Indonesia, it was very hard for me to see how much people use WhatsApp. I do not like anything to do with Meta, and particularly now that Donald Trump has become president again, some of the things that Mark Zuckerberg has said and some of the things that big tech companies are doing to lay down for Donald Trump are really horrible to me. So I don't want anything to do with that. And yes, I understand that WhatsApp is used by pretty much everyone over here, and it's very hard to contact people without it sometimes. But I would add that this is an opportunity for you to try and get more people onto Signal. I do that all the time, especially when I'm overseas. I pretty much force my family and friends to use Signal because that's the only way they'll be able to stay in contact with me. So I would love, if you do nothing else at the end of this video, for you to go out and spread the word of Signal and to help people move away from Meta and from other big tech companies. So I'd love to know what you think of my 6 ideas for the apps and other things that you need when you are traveling in Indonesia. Do you agree? What other things would you use? I think I've covered them all, but I'd love to hear what you think.